All right, everybody, it's time for some accountability. Early on after starting the channel, I began making comics to invest in before it's too late videos. They've done pretty well for the channel, and chances are you're here because of one of those videos. But it's time to look back at our first top 10 comics to invest in before it's too late recommendations and see how we did. Let's check it out. March 23rd, 2020. That is when our first top 10 comics list was uploaded. If you watched that video when it first came out and you're still here, you're a trooper because we've come a long way since then. It's only been a little over a year, but it was 2020, so it seems like it was ages ago. The premise of our first top 10 comics list was 10 investment-worthy comics on a $100 budget, meaning that all of the books on our list could be had for approximately $100. Jump forward 12 months and a few days, and here we are. Where are the values of these books today? Did all of our suggestions see gains in 2020? Did we completely drop the ball and all of them sucked? It's time to find out. Stay tuned to the end of this video to see what the total value of the original top 10 is today. If we're just meeting, my name's Drew Stewart. I'm the owner of Como Comic Books. We are a Columbia, Missouri-based comic book vendor, and on our YouTube channel, we focus on bringing you the best tips and tricks to take your comic collection to the next level. So if you're interested in comic book content, entertainment, investing, stick around for more of that. The number 10 book was Avengers Annual number 10, the first appearance of Rogue. This book has been on a roller coaster ride over the last several years, heating up, then cooling off, so on and so forth. Well, with Marvel buying out Fox and everyone anxiously awaiting the arrival of the mutants in the MCU, Rogue seems to be a natural segue due to her long-established history with Carol Danvers. With that in mind, Avengers Annual number 10 is currently selling for $165 for a high-grade raw copy, a 65% increase over the past year. Not too bad. Hammering its way into the number 9 spot was none other than Thor 337, the first appearance of Beta Ray Bill. Talk about a character that fans are simply chomping at the bit for. Excitement for Beta Ray Bill was building long before a sculpture resembling the Corbinite was spotted on the Grandmaster's high-rise in Thor Ragnarok. A year ago, things had settled down a little bit and you could pick up a pretty decent copy of this book for right around $100. Today, a high-grade raw copy is going to set you back $225. With Thor palling around with the Guardians of the Galaxy now, and Thor Love and Thunder also in development, there's a lot of anticipation that sooner or later Beta Ray Bill is going to pop up in the MCU. If you're getting value out of this video, be sure to hit the like button below. Also, if you're not currently subscribed to the channel, click that subscribe button. 3 out of every 4 people who watch our videos are not currently subscribed to the channel. We're on a mission to hit 10,000 subscribers in 2021, and we need your help to get there. Don't be afraid. None of us bite, I promise. Hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and you'll be notified every time we upload a new video. You'll also see all of our community posts with pictures and polls and stuff. It will change your life. Trust me. Now let's get back to the list. The number 8 book on our first top 10 comics list was She-Hulk number 1. This issue features the first appearance of Jennifer Walters, a cousin of Bruce Banner, who through a series of events would become the Savage She-Hulk. With a Disney Plus series in the works, Savage She-Hulk number 1 has remained a very hot book over the last 12 months. In fact, in the current market, a potential buyer should expect to pay $150 for a high-grade raw copy of this book, a 50% increase in value over just 1 year ago. With the undeniable success of the first 2 Disney Plus Marvel shows, WandaVision and The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and never mind that fantastic-looking Loki trailer that just dropped, the She-Hulk Disney Plus series appears to be primed for a successful launch following a strong showing from Marvel's preceding projects. Swinging in at the number 7 spot is Amazing Spider-Man 361, the first appearance of Carnage. This Mark Bagley ASM classic has also seen some wild swings in values over recent years. I remember selling copies of this book off my wall at $50 and $75 not so long ago. A year ago, it was coming in right around the $100 mark, but it's had a good year, and I suspect it will continue to see gains as we get closer to the Venom movie sequel. Currently coming in at $250 for a direct copy, the newsstand version is now up to $400, both for raw high-grade copies. In fact, ASM 361 has increased the most of any book on our original Top 10 Comics list. Dreaming its way into the list at the number 6 spot is none other than Neil Gaiman's classic Sandman #1. With a Netflix series in the works, Dream and the rest of the Endless are hot commodities right now. Another book that has had a really strong year, Sandman #1 is currently sitting at $225 for a raw high-grade copy. And I'm not going to be surprised at all if this book jumps above $300 once the first trailer for the show drops. Unless it looks like a hot mess, this book is definitely headed higher in my opinion, which means I should stop procrastinating and buy one. Everyone was kung fu fighting at the number 5 spot on our first Top 10 Comics video as Deadly Hands of Kung Fu 19, the first appearance of the White Tiger, was bringing the hurt. I'll be honest, I added this book to the original list for a few reasons. One, I love the cover art. It's simply fantastic. 2, the White Tiger is a supporting character that seems like a sure thing to pop up in the Shang-Chi or Iron Fist corner of the MCU once it gets up and running. And finally, 3, it's kind of a tough issue to find in the wild. So in summary, a tough to find first appearance with some decent spec possibility made this book a great addition. Apparently, the market agreed, as this book is up 75% in value from the release of the original video, coming in at $175 for a high-grade copy in today's market. Happy hunting, though, because it's still tough to find outside of the interwebs. The number 4 book on our first Top 10 Comics list was Incredible Hulk 340, featuring a now classic Todd McFarlane Wolverine cover. If any rivalry with the Hulk can challenge that of the Hulk and the Thing, it's definitely the Hulk and Wolverine. Though Wolverine would quickly eclipse the popularity of the title character of the series in which he debuted, the characters continued to cross paths, and McFarlane's cover to Hulk 340 captures the savage nature of Wolverine and the rage of the Hulk in a very creative cover design. Currently bringing $170 for a high-grade raw copy, this is another book where newsstand editions can bring a premium. Up 70% from last year, this book is always in high demand and rarely lasts more than a single show when I'm fortunate enough to have one on my wall. If you're still watching, ask yourself this question. Have I clicked the like button yet? If you answered yes, I want you to know you're awesome. Keep up the great work and carry on. If you answered no, I want you to know that I believe in you. You can do this. Hit that like button. By the power of Grayskull, DC Comics Presents number 47 was the number 3 book on our first Top 10 Comics list. It's crazy to me to walk down the toy aisles and see Masters of the Universe figures on the shelves again. The Motu Origins toy line, along with a pair of new cartoon projects, is boosting interest in one of the 80s largest intellectual properties. He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, who make their first comic book appearance in this issue of DC Comics Presents. Like other 80s cartoon staples, Transformers, G.I. Joe, and now even the Thundercats, He-Man's first comic book appearance has had a strong showing over the last 12 months and is currently commanding a $220 price tag for a high-grade raw copy. Everything X-Men is absolutely on fire now. Well, everything except our number 2 book, Uncanny X-Men 141, featuring the first part of the legendary Days of Future Past story. Yes, X-Men 141 is the sole issue from our original Top 10 Comics list that has lost value. In fact, some really weird stuff has happened in the market where X-Men 142 is actually now of higher value than issue 141. Now bringing $80 for a high-grade raw copy, This issue still has a classic cover and contains half of one of the best X-Men stories ever written. Topping our first top 10 comics list was the always in demand Daredevil 131, the first appearance of Bullseye. Well, technically it was the second Bullseye, or Bullseye 2, but does anybody actually remember Bullseye 1 from back in Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.? I'm guessing most of you are saying no right now. This book also continues to be in high demand, and for that reason, I'm surprised at how affordable it's remained. Currently, a raw, high-grade copy will only set you back in the neighborhood of $135 if you can find one in the wild. Very few Bronze Age books of the same caliber as Daredevil 131 are as challenging to find as it is. Hardly a show or con goes by where I don't field more than one request for this book, and when I do have one available, I rarely go home with it in my inventory. Up a modest 35% in the last 12 months, expect this book to catch another bounce if and when Daredevil shows up in the MCU. So there you have it, 9 out of 10 books featured in our original top 10 comics to invest in on a $100 budget video have shown increases in value over the past year. Some were up 35%, others were up 150%, with the rest falling somewhere in between. When it's all said and done, if you would have spent the $1,000 it would have taken to buy all of these books in March of 2020, today those same books would be valued at $1,795. Seriously though, what the hell happened to X-Men 141? How can nearly every other X-Men book ever published go up in value in the last 12 months except that one? Okay, that was an exaggeration, but you know what I mean. I'll let it go. Thank you for watching this video and for supporting the channel. Whether you've been with us since the first top 10 video came out, or if you've just recently found the channel, we appreciate you spending your precious time with us and our content. There are a lot of great creators out there right now, and I truly appreciate you all. Here's one last request for you to hit the like button, click subscribe, and share the video out to your friends. You want them to learn about cool comics and stuff too, right? Happy hunting out there, and don't forget to collect responsibly. I'll see you in the next one.